Good evening all. So as you can see here, we've got quite a moody looking sky this evening, and I've just been filming for the last half an hour, 35 minutes, something like that, a time lapse. So on the A6700 you've got the S&Q mode, which is slow and quick, which gives you your slow motion, but in there you've got a basic time lapse function, and that gives you a 1 second duration basically. So it will take a picture every second, and eventually you'll get half an hour's worth, or depending on how long you leave it. Say in my terms, I've got half an hour's worth of footage, which is compressed into probably around about a minute's worth of time, because you've got I think a second gap between each photo. So yeah, that's quite handy to do. And what it does is the camera does it all for you in camera, and you end up with a video file. You've also got in camera menus, you've got an interval timer. That's basically a more advanced version of a time-lapse situation, but the benefits of it here are where the camera does a movie for you in the basic settings. This one will leave you the images separate, so basically you put them together in some software and make your own time-lapse video up. But it also means you have every single photograph. So imagine something that's really cool. You know, the light was absolutely amazing. Well, it's pretty good now, to be fair. It's going to allow you to utilise one of those frames very easily, where the other one is all pre-done. It's not saving the images as a photo, it's saving it as a video file. So basically you have two options. The other one is fully controllable, where the basic one, which is in the S&Q area, is obviously just fully automated. The other thing I was going to do, we've got a really moody set of clouds over here. I'm just going to show you. But I find clouds fascinating when you're photographing them. Time lapses are amazing because you see them evolving and moving and stuff like that, and they're really cool. But sometimes when you see these huge cloud formations, they just look incredible. So some rotate you around. He says, wrong one. That there, which doesn't look all that big from here, but if I go around the back of the camera and zoom in, we can then, using magic, do a bit of cropping as well, adjust the shutter speed slightly. You can see there it's actually quite a fantastically massive cloud. Right now it doesn't look all that interesting, but I reckon if I take a few photos and crop in a little bit, it might look quite cool. But you've got layers there of clouds in front of it. You've even got a low one, which is, where is it? Where is it here? About there. So it's quite fantastic, really. Unfortunately, we've got trees in the way. Just sometimes clouds just look incredible, and they're just, you know, they're just water and ice. It's quite incredible. Sadly, I missed a rainbow earlier. That's quite cool as well. Look at that. That's pretty fantastic. Anyway, I'm going to snap a couple of photographs, and then we can see, and then we jump on the computer and have a look at the time lapse I've done. I also flew the drone up into the clouds because we are quite high up here. The ground level over there is actually not that much higher than where I'm stood. So actually, the clouds were coming out of off the trees. They were being created off the trees at the time, due to obviously evaporation and humidity and stuff like that. It was quite incredible to be able to do. It was threatening to rain, and it could have been quite wet, but yeah, who knows. Anyway, we are going to snap a couple of shots and then jump on the computer and have a look at them. So shooting with the Sony A6700 and the Sigma 18 to 50 f2.8 DGDN lens, you can see here a couple of shots taken with the camera there, all shot at f8 and ISO 100, and also anywhere between 1/100th of a second and 1/500th of a second, depending on what the light was doing at the time. So as you can see, there are plenty of sun rays and things like that. little bit blown out because I was shooting straight into the sun pretty much, so it's very difficult to get a bit of a balance. But that's one of those things. This is shot with the DJI Mini 4 Pro drone up in the sky, but as you can see there, wide open, you get a real sunburst coming through the clouds there. And this is while I was up there, I noticed there was small clouds appearing, like really low, and they're being generated by the trees. So the moisture coming off the trees and the heat, I presume, creates clouds. So obviously we see it up in mountains and other forests and stuff like that. And near where I am is very forest-like. Um, and there you go. You can see one of the clouds there basically growing. It did get to a point where the drone was moaning at me because it was like visibility is reduced, blah 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 blah, due to basically being in the cloud. That bit there is very small, but as you can see, as I turn around, you'll see there's more of it, and I actually end up in it a little bit there, and I'm less than 120 meters off the ground there. I'm only about 60 from that area there, but we are quite high, so that's where obviously the thing changes. There you go. You can see the cloud coming past. There anyway, the drone was obviously I could see clearly, but the drone was saying obviously visibility reduced, and there we go. So it just shows you that weather is quite amazing, isn't it? So it's fantastic. I find it fascinating photographing clouds, moody skies, certain times of the day. Obviously, storms and things like that is mad. Anyway, that day later on, obviously the sun was going down, and as you can see here, time lapsing the 1 second duration. This is sped up a little bit just to keep it moving, but the next couple are as were out of the camera. It all depends on your wind speed and stuff like that. As you can see, they're proper moody. The clouds are doing lots of different things, but the sun rays were wicked, so that was quite nice to be able to capture some of those. And yeah, it was just quite a nice evening, to be fair. But I say earlier, I think it was earlier in the day, there was a bit of a thunderstorm, and the weather was a bit crazy. It went from sunny to cloudy to sunny to cloudy, and yeah, it was a case of right. Hopefully, it's just going to go bonkers, and we get some really cool thunder and lightning. But obviously, it's daytime, so it's very difficult to photograph lightning in the daytime. And I thought, well, if it does clear, I'll be able to get the drone up behind it, and that's what I managed to do. So here we go, following the storm. Unfortunately, it moved a bit quicker than I expected, and I should have got up about 5 minutes earlier. I would have probably been almost in it. But there you go, the rain in the distance there. It was just not. It's really cool to see when you've got really nicely lit ground, and then the moody sky and the real dark moodiness of that cloud that's chucking down a ton of rain. Yeah, it was just cool to do, and like I say, it's just getting out there, taking photographs, filming, and just doing what you love doing and capturing cool stuff basically. And it's just really nice to be able to do. And it doesn't matter what camera you're using. I chose to use the A6700 and obviously the Mini 4 Pro drone. So but you can, if you've got a drone or you've got a relatively good camera, you can mess around and experiment and capture stuff as well. So anyway, please click the subscribe button, little notification bell as well. Let me know what you think about the video, and check out my other stuff as well. I'll see you soon for another one.